Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Made in Abyss Season 2, but today we're going to be checking out Episode 10. And last time, on Episode 9, first off, we learned what the promise that Reg made to Faputa was. Now, I already had my suspicions based on what we knew about Faputa, and I wasn't too far off the mark because the promise he made was to use his incinerator to blow a hole into the Village of Hollows so that Faputa could get inside and just tear everything up, finally freeing her mother from her eternal purgatory. My initial suspicion was that she just wanted him to use the incinerator to free her mother for her, but it wasn't exactly that. I was pretty close. The end result is the same. But before he could do any of that, he had to throw down with that big dude with the stone sword. Remember that guy who I thought was kind of cool when I first saw him? Well, he had to throw down with that guy because he started to try to go after Faputa's arm because of the immense value that it holds. Also, we learned that it shares a name with the deplorable piece of garbage who senselessly tortured Waco earlier on. You remember that guy? So any and all fondness I had for that guy kinda went down the drain, but... Anyway, Reg fought him off, eventually deciding to kill two birds with one stone, activated his incinerator, blasted through him, and created a hole right through the village so that Faputa could get inside, just like he promised. And Faputa, she gave quite the epic and dramatic speech towards the people of the village, saying how much she despises them and will never forgive them for taking advantage of her mother in the way that they did. But now Faputa's here, and she's gonna friggin' clean house. Probably gonna be a bit of a bloodbath. But apart from all that, I was informed of something rather interesting about Made in Abyss Season 2, and it's that there was a scene from the manga that was left out in the anime, which is curious because from what I've heard, they were very faithful to the manga, adapting pretty much everything that was shown, except one scene. Which ties into something interesting about last episode as well, where we saw that blue Cyclops girl. You remember her? Well, we saw that she was kinda nervous around Waco when she was standing behind her. I didn't really catch it at the time because it was such a small detail, but there's a reason that she looked kinda uncomfortable as she was standing there. Well, you see, there was one little panel in the manga showing Waco and that Cyclops girl back when she was still human kinda, well, doing this. And for one reason or another, they decided to just leave that panel out. Would have certainly been interesting to see that adapted. And I would say the most awkward part of it was the fact that Irumyui walked in on them. But yeah, I think it's kind of weird that they decided to cut that, but then still call back to it by having her be kinda fidgety in that scene. Like, without it, it's just such a small detail that, I mean, you could be blamed for not even noticing it. Perhaps they kept it in just as a nice callback to those who had read the manga and were aware of the relationship the two of them had. Oh well, with that, I'd say we've got everything just about sorted out here, so without further ado, let's head into episode 10, baby. But no, of course, Reg wasn't just gonna stand there and let her kill everyone in that village, because, you know, the place had grown to have its own culture, its own society and all that. They had their own hopes and dreams and things that they cared about. And he witnessed it all firsthand. He didn't want to just let them all die. But of course, this is one of the only things Faputa cared about, was killing all of them and freeing her mother from this. So, they're at an impasse. And having just that fight between Reg and Faputa intermixed with the flashbacks of how they met and everything was quite the fierce contrast, because we were seeing Faputa at both ends of the spectrum there. Two extremes, just, wow. And as is a continuing theme across Made in Abyss, Reg can't seem to catch a break in terms of anything here. I mean, he had to have a frickin' arm just shoved down his throat as he tried to tear him open from the inside out. While on top of that, having all these pleasant memories start to drift back into his mind. He can't even comprehend that. And I didn't settle on it at the time, but Reg was saying that it would be impossible to really bring her down as long as the slimy things were still here, which, yeah, it's true. because they keep going in and healing her like it did to her teeth, even though she chipped them, biting off his helmet. They went right into her mouth and just healed him right back up. So, even with the super form, that wasn't gonna be enough. Outside of just trying to completely disintegrate her, which, that ain't gonna happen. Wouldn't want it to happen. Also, this poor dude. He had one shot with that crossbow and he missed. Dude, you were like 5 feet away, man. Yeah, it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. And this shot right here, man, it breaks my dang heart. It's a really well done shot, and it's... And even the things he's saying during it, he keeps getting the memories back and he's just begging her to tell him what he needs to do to stop her, but... what can he do? Because he was concerned that if she doesn't stop, she's just gonna burn herself away until there's nothing left. And if that happens, the two of them can't go on adventures. Damn, this episode has got my goat. It's just so much emotional tension on the line here. Oh man, I don't even know anymore. This is one opponent that he's fighting against that I just don't want to see get hurt, man. Which is pretty novel for this. Because he's not trying to hurt her, he's just trying to convince her to stop. But she is not sharing that restriction. Well, anyway, I think that's about it for now, guys. But thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like in the comments if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be updated on more. That'd be great. Next time, episode 11, the penultimate chapter of Season 2. Surely it's going to be intense. I mean, yeah, the first season definitely started to really hit it hard around this time. I believe episode 11 was one of the most intense ones of season 1, so we'll see what we get here. Let me try to remember. Actually, I'm gonna pull up my my thumbnails so I can try to remember what happened in episode 11 of season 1. I think I remember what happened, but I'm gonna open it up again and see. No, 11 was like the calm before the storm. 12 and 13 was when it hit. We'll see if they mirror that here. I don't know. Also 9 and 10. 9 and 10 were... But yeah, sorry that these videos haven't been coming out as frequently, as well as, you know, haven't even started Chainsaw Man yet. I already made the video talking about everything with work. It was, we had to really kick it into overdrive near the end there, but, they've, let us loose for now. Got a little bit of time off at the very least. And with that time I've got, gonna give it my all, finish up Made in Abyss, check out Chainsaw Man, do some commissions, all that stuff. With the time I've got on my hands now, expect these Made in Abyss videos to be coming out a lot more frequently. Trust me. So like I said, thank you everyone, genuinely hope you enjoyed, and I hope to catch you next time. But till then, I will see you guys all later!